All right, we need to have a conversation. Let's talk about long-term care. And I know, it's the conversation that nobody wants to talk about. Trust me, I'm in the middle of it with a family member right now. But it is important because one of the biggest misperceptions around senior health care coverage is that Medicare will help you with long-term care costs. Medicare does not touch long-term care. Medicare supplement plans do not touch long-term care. Medicare Advantage plans do not touch long-term care. Fortunately, you have options, and this video is one of 4 that will go over the details of this important topic. First, we need to hone in on what long-term care actually is. Long-term care includes several different types of care designed to help someone with their health or personal needs during both short and long periods of time. Long-term care services help people live as independently and safely as possible when they can no longer perform everyday activities on their own. Most long-term care isn't actually medical care. Most long-term care helps people who are struggling with what are called the 6 activities of daily living, or ADLs. Our internal long-term care specialist here helped me remember these 6 activities by using a typical morning ritual. So you wake up, and what's the first thing that you hope didn't happen while you were sleeping? You hope you didn't have an accident. That's activity number 1, maintaining continence, or the ability to control bowel and bladder functions. Once you're awake and fully conscious, you have the ability to check that first activity off the list, but now you realize that you actually do need to use the bathroom. So toileting is activity number 2. Well, you need to get to the bathroom from your bed, so transferring from point A to point B is activity number 3, and while still in the bathroom, bathing is activity number 4. After bathing and drying yourself off, you need to get dressed, and dressing is activity number 5, and then finally, it's time to eat some breakfast, so feeding is activity number 6. So continence, toileting, transferring, bathing, dressing, and feeding are the 6 activities of daily living. A healthy person can do all 6 of these activities without physical assistance. However, someone who needs help with 2 or more of these activities for longer than 90 days now requires long-term custodial care. And it's important to understand that long-term care is not an aging thing, even though that's usually what we think of when we hear long-term care. Anyone at any age and for any number of reasons can require long-term care, such as someone who has suffered an accident and needs help with 2 of the 6 activities that we mentioned. Other common issues can also create the need for long-term care, like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, cancer, stroke, diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic issues. And I need to say this. When we work with people regarding long-term care, there are usually a few common concerns that come up. One of the most common reasons people in general do not actively engage in the long-term care planning process is simply because we as humans think we don't need it. We tend to view long-term care planning as a conversation about risk, and it won't happen to me. But this isn't just a conversation about risk, it's a conversation about consequences. Often people, typically men, will say something along the lines of, "I've told my family that if I ever need care to just throw me in the backyard," and then we all have a nice little chuckle. But the reality is this: no one is just throwing us out in the backyard. When we need care, someone, somewhere is going to spend time, money, and emotional resources to provide our care. Now, there are 4 major questions that you need to answer in regards to long-term care, so wrapping up this first video will be the first question, and then we will have a whole video in and of itself for question number 2. The first major question to answer around long-term care is, when I need care, where will I receive it? And there really are only 2 answers to this question. The first is in the home, whether that is your home or a family member's home. Most people want to receive their care in their home. It's where they feel the most comfortable, but sometimes our needs require more than what can be given properly in our own home. So the second answer is a facility. This can be an adult daycare center, assisted living facility, a nursing home, or even a memory care facility. Sometimes there is confusion by the phrases skilled nursing care or skilled nursing facility. This type of care is different. We refer to it as recovery care, or care that is provided for a specific medical reason. It is temporary. It is provided only until the patient recovers fully or plateaus in their recovery. Think a knee surgery and a person is in rehab. They go in, they get better relatively quickly, and then they go home. This is not the same as a nursing home. Skilled nursing facilities and nursing homes are 2 very different things. Medicare does pay for recovery care in a skilled nursing facility where temporary recovery therapy is provided, but Medicare does not pay for long-term custodial care in a nursing home. So question 1 is where, with the answer being in your home or a facility. Check out our next video in this series that tackles question number 2, who will provide that care?